am so happy with how this looks for the Rangers. We have a pitcher, Jack Leiter, and he is a dude.
Athletic enough to get to any ball. And while I do think his hitting is worse than Derek Jeter, it's not that far off.
So he reached double digits. The big question has been answered.
It just leaves it to where I don't believe that the Canadians had a shot.
The steal of the draft is Will Taylor to the Texas Rangers in the 19th round after he signs with them.
We'll see what happens during his career. It's important to keep his Scotty around, Chris Middleton. It's important to keep his Dennis Rodman, which I believe is like Drew Holiday, another important defender, a guy who's a team builder. And maybe that's PJ Tucker. I don't know who's the Dennis Rodman of the team.
I really don't like the Clippers just kind of sending it in when they're like, good job, Manfred. You won't get many of those for the rest of the year.
And you can quote this on me. There is no way the Orioles or Red Sox make the playoffs this season. There's no way. There's no way.
You're not mentioning 2006. You can mention the other people. Not 2006. You already took your math shot.
Well, it's also like you think, oh, just because I bought the best soap doesn't mean your room's going to be clean. Just because you bought the best vacuum doesn't mean the floor is going to be not dirty.
And then you have the Diamondbacks. And then Giants, I have them above the Rockies because I don't have any idea what the Rockies are doing.
Sam Bennett's someone I really expected to be a better player.
There will be a Rodgers playing for Green Bay, even though he may not be the quarterback. But it's still unknown there. Austin is giving me the dead stare, so I guess don't mention Aaron Rodgers to him right now.
Yeah, so we can compare a rookie QB to a toddler.
Corey Perry will give some veteran presence to the Canadians and to just help give some insights on what he did last year.
I agree 100%, and the reason why I agree is because this is a terrible trade for the long term.
What would you have said if I bet you $100 at the end of the round robin and start of the playoffs that the Stars would be in the Stanley Cup playoffs, or Stanley Cup finals?
Hi, this is Kelly Forbes with the Dallas Stars, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NHL Opinions of the Week. Today we will be doing championship or bust for the NHL. We're a little bit into the season, but it's these teams that we're about to talk about have the expectation of making the championship or their season is a bust. So this is a staple for our channel. So Austin, this is a repeat from last year, but it's the Boston Bruins, your team, as they made the playoffs last year. They beat the Capitals and lost to the Islanders.
Yep.
And Boston, you have Marchand. You did lose, oh my gosh, Rask. But
also
Marchand. And also...
Come on, you got it. Come on.
Also, wait, are you saying on the team now or left?
Left, because he went to his home country.
What? I missed this.
All-time great, Bruin. Won championship with us in 2011.
What?
Our second line center for a very long time.
Oh my gosh, I'm totally missing this. My brain is blank.
That's David Krejci.
Oh.
Do you not know who that is?
No, it sounds familiar. I just missed. I just couldn't. I kept thinking Chara, but he wasn't on them last year. But like Marchand is the final one from 2011, correct? On the team still?
No, Bergeron was also on that team.
Bergeron. But your core is getting older. You do have some young guys, but you also signed Hall, who got benched a few games ago because of defense turnovers.
He kept turning over the puck.
So y'all need to make a championship for one last ride. You did lose to the Blues, but it's championship or bust in Boston. I'll let you elaborate more.
Yeah, we have high expectations. We always have. We've been a storied franchise since 2011. We've been very successful. Not many teams can say they've won a championship since 2010, especially because there's been so many repeat winners. We've seen the Lightning win 2 in a row. The Penguins won 2 in a row. The Penguins have won 3 since 2009. The Blackhawks won 3, 2010, since they've won 3 since 2010. The Kings have won 2 since 2012. So a lot of repeat winners. So to say that you've won it one is it's very impressive. Even getting to one is, but definitely championship or bust. Their team is getting older. They made moves in the offseason to push for a championship, so it's definitely championship or bust.
Now our next team is a team that was in the finals after St. Louis. Or was it before? It was after.
Before.
Okay.
The year
Gotcha.
before.
And that is the Vegas Golden Knights, who their first season was in 2017-2018. And that's when, before they were even they had done the draft, the owner said, we're going to win a Stanley Cup in the first 6 years. And now they're in their 5th season, and they just made the Jack Eichel trade. They traded Andre Fleury. They're a team that has gone all in. You know, the Suzuki trade. The Suzuki for Pacioretty.
There you go.
So, and we saw how Suzuki was with the Canadiens in the playoffs against the Golden Knights, and how not many players are left on that team from 2017-2018. And it's their 5th year, but they have added the pressure. In addition to that claim from their owner, they've made these trades. You've traded for Jack Eichel. You have to figure out the cap, or just hope the LTIR saves you. So it's championship or bust. You have to make the championship, and because they haven't been to the championship since. They haven't been to the Stanley Cup Finals. They've come close. Not last season, they lost to the Canadiens, but that wasn't the conference finals.
It was a pseudo conference finals. It wasn't considered or called the conference finals. It was called the semifinals, considering the fact that technically that was an East team versus a West team, and in the finals was the East versus East. But because of how the divisions worked, it was the semifinals. The year before,
it was Stars
in the Western Conference Finals.
Gurianov, no, it was oh my God, Radulov. Radulov had the game series winner.
Yes, but Gurianov also had an OT winner during that series too, so that's probably what you were thinking of. But yeah, and in 2019 they lost in the first round to the Sharks in a very controversial series, and then 18 they went to the Cup. So they've been to 3 out of the last 4 Western Conference Finals and only won one of them. They made the Eichel trade, as you said, and hopefully when he comes back, he'll be healthy and back to normal Eichel. But they've gone all in. I don't know necessarily how the cap works for this team, but we'll see what happens.
LTIR, man. We've had talks about it, but now let's move on to the Islanders, who have been to, I'm just going to say conference finals, pseudo conference finals last year, and they faced the Lightning twice, and the Lightning won, so they've lost to the eventual champion twice in the past 2 years. Barry Trotz has turned this roster around, but it's time to get over that hump, and they're a team that I believe will get over that hump and get to the championship. And that's why they're championship or bust. They've come so close, so they're expected to take that eventual step. And they also signed, let me see, I know it was a Lightning player. Wasn't that a trade?
Lightning player?
Who did they trade for?
They didn't trade for anybody, but they got Zach Parise. Is that who you're thinking of?
No, it's not who I'm thinking of. There's a center they got. Why am I?
Is his name Zach Parise?
I don't think. Is he a center?
Zach Parise?
Yeah.
No.
I can't remember because maybe it was a defenseman, but they definitely made a trade because it was when everyone was trying to get the expansion draft lineups. Why can't I remember him?
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Maybe they traded someone.
They got Chara, though.
Oh, no. I think it's Ryan Pollock.
No, Pollock was on the team last year. Pollock and Pellick were both on the team last year.
I don't know who I was thinking of.
I don't think it was anybody. The only person I know they picked up, they obviously traded for Palmieri last year.
I think it's just a re-signing. Bolivier, Palmieri. That's what
and then they signed Parise, like I said. That was their only acquisition who last year played for another team besides Chara, who's played big time minutes for this team also,
Yeah, that's
and it's
another
played
good point.
well. But yeah, they're definitely a championship or bust team. Uh, like you said, they made it to the conference or pseudo conference finals the past 2 seasons, the semifinals, if you want to call it that. And eventually, you have to get over the hump, or you have to fall. You can't just stay at conference finals and not move up and move down. They gotta go all in, and they are. They trust their roster. Made some additions with Parisi and Chara to help get them uh, over the cusp. Chara has won a cup before, so they're trying to use that veteran leadership from a 44-year-old defenseman who's playing 18 minutes a game, and that may work out. We've seen 2019, Chara was on that Boston team that got very close to winning, and the Islanders are going to try to repeat that success, but this time winning a Game 7 or just win before then.
So now, if you thought the Islanders were surprising on our list, here's a list. Here's another team that I think will surprise you even more, and that is Carolina. Austin, I'll let you talk about Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina, they're a great team this year. They have a great record, but that's not really it. They made some good moves. They picked up Kakanyemi off of the team that went to the Cup last year, the Canadians. Uh, they also added Freddie Anderson, who was a big part of the Toronto Maple Leafs before last season, but last season was a backup and got pretty angry, and now he's playing well, even though they got rid of their Rookie of the Year candidate, Alex Nedeljkovic. They traded him to Detroit, and they made some questionable moves. They got rid of Jake Bean, who I really liked, got rid of him, but their team's looking good, and they made it back to they made it to the conference finals in 2019. They haven't made it back since, and they've struggled to get out of the first round. Last no 2 years ago, and last year, both years they lost to Boston 2 years ago or 2 seasons ago, and then last season they lost to Tampa. So they have to get out of the first round to make it to the conference finals, or especially the championship, as they are championship or bust. But they have a good young team, and I'm excited to see how they move along.
Yeah, I was going to mention how they lost to the eventual Stanley Cup champions, and I believe they were your um, championship in our and the championship winner in our predictions. And Trocheck was
Yep,
the
yep.
Conn Smythe.
Vincent Trocheck, I call him
Vincent
Vinny.
Trocheck. Yeah.
Vinny Trocheck.
So
And I had them facing, I think, Colorado, right?
I think you did. No, maybe it was the Wild.
No, I thought I had. I don't think I had Wild going to the Cup. I don't think I did.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, you know who I think it was? I think I had Toronto. I
Oh no, I thought I had Toronto. We'll have to look at this.
yeah, you move on.
Okay,
I'll
yeah,
scroll back in time, and that's the reason why we have this in the first place.
yeah. So now let's go to Washington, who's a repeat from last year. They have Ovechkin. They have oh my gosh, why am I forgetting his name? Oshie.
Position?
Oshie.
Oh yeah, TJ Oshie.
They're getting up in age. Well, and they lost Barry Trotz from when they beat the Vegas Golden Knights, and Barry Trotz is now with the Islanders, and they have yet to make it out of the first round since that Stanley Cup win. Am I correct, Austin?
Yes.
So okay. So it's Ovechkin's getting up in age. Their core is getting up in age, and they made a huge. They traded a couple of picks last year or last season for a Detroit Red Wing. Why can't I remember his name? Do you know what trade I'm talking about, Austin? Was it the trade deadline?
It was Anthony Mantha.
Anthony Mantha. I think they sent like 2 first-round picks, and they've had goalie issues. So they're as they cut their goalie is Holt. It's Holtby, right? Or
Yes, they moved off of Holtby, and now he's obviously with the Stars.
yeah. So they're a team that it's championship or bust. You need one last ring. Yeah, one last cup for maybe send Ovechkin off. Who knows?
I found it.
What is it?
So I had Hurricanes versus Wild in the conference semifinals, and I had Penguins versus Maple Leafs, but I had Hurricanes versus Penguins. That was my finals. Your finals was Avalanche versus
Versus
Maple
Maple
Leafs.
Leafs, yeah.
Yeah. So we were very far off. All right, you won, I think, right?
I think I did win because of the Golden Knights and Wild series. That's how I won. That was the deciding factor. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have yet to predict a final, like the 2 final people. Like I know football, you did predict champion, but with our new format for playoffs, we have yet to predict the 2 final teams.
Mm-hmm.
So
We've
we'll see how we go.
gotten. What's our closest so far?
I think
Just
the closest is maybe NBA. I think you came the
Oh,
closest.
that's right. Last year NBA, I killed it.
Yeah.
I didn't, but I had Nets and Clippers in the final. I just like my final was completely wrong, but everything else like up to the final was almost 100% correct. But
Yeah,
my
I had
final was wrong.
Bucks beating Nets, but everything else was bad.
It just didn't. Yeah, it just didn't matter that you had the Bucks beating the Nets and I had the Nets beating the Bucks, just because everything else was so
Yeah.
bad. It was so. So hopefully our next playoff predictions, which will be NFL, it will be NFL, will be good. I'm excited for that one.
That's going to be exciting.
Yeah,
Especially, oh, that's going to be exciting. And so that is our championship or bust teams for the NHL. Let us know what you think. Do you disagree with any of the teams? Let us know in the comments. Tweet us at Outsiders Opinions 21 on Twitter. And thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.